Today I'm transforming this very generic curb shop table into an adorable rustic garden table using some scrap wood and a little bit of paint. Hi, I'm Denise from Salvaged Inspirations. Welcome back to my DIY furniture painting decor channel. Let's get started. So here's the metal table I started with. It was propped up against a no stopping, no parking sign at a very busy intersection in Burlington. Very odd place for it to be. However, it was a perfect Trashy Treasures Tuesday project, so I grabbed it and brought it home. To prep this piece, I took my garden hose and hosed off all the grass and grime. The weather is warming up here in the Greater Toronto area, so it's lovely to be working outside again. And after it was hosed down, I got another wipe down using an automotive sponge and some white lightning cleaner, and then another rinse. I even got treated to a few mini rainbows while I was cleaning this metal piece. After the piece was all clean and nicely dried in the sun, I removed the clear glass table bumpers with needle nose pliers. These were not needed because I knew I was not going to use any glass or plexiglass on top. And later in the video, I'll be sharing how the holes the table bumpers left were so convenient. Now for the fun part. Let's see if we can't give this generic looking table a little bit more character. For the base coat, I use this Rust-Oleum black outdoor spray paint. It sticks to metal, plastic, wood, and probably just about anything. I also like using this spray can trigger handle, and it clips right onto the top of a spray can, and it turns it into a makeshift spray gun. I also just want to mention that even though I'm working outdoors, safety first. I did wear a mask. This is an oil-based spray paint that sprays super fine, so you don't want to be inhaling any of this. And this goes really, really fast. I painted one coat, which took less than 10 minutes to do. I just want to mention this was not a perfect full coverage coat of paint because I was after a rustic look. However, if you're using spray paint and you want a perfect finish, you'd have to be a little more mindful when you're spraying it on. And I also should mention that while you're spraying, it's good to give that can a good shake because if not, you end up with drips. It comes out a little weird and you'll end up with drips on your project. So as you're spray painting, be sure to shake that can periodically. So here's what it looked like when it was still all wet and I just left it out in the sun to dry. This Rust-Oleum paint takes about 20 minutes to dry to the touch, about 1 hour so you can handle it, and 24 hours for it to be fully dry. So while I left that to dry, I went down to my workspace and found these very rustic scrap wood boards from my inventory. I don't remember where I got them from or what project they were left over from, but they were perfectly imperfect, exactly what I was looking for to create an outdoor garden table. Once the table was dry enough, I brought it into my workspace and measured the top. In this case, it was 34.5 inches. And each board needed to be cut down to this size so it would sit on the existing metal rail. I brought out my chop saw and started measuring and marking each board. I clamped the first board before I cut it, just because I felt more comfortable doing so. But after I cut the first board, I just ended up holding on to them and doing the rest by hand. Whenever you work with a tool Make sure that safety first. I can't stress that enough. Do what feels comfortable for you and make sure that your hair is tied back, that you have work goggles on. In my case, I just wear my glasses. You have a dust mask. All this is very, very important when working with tools. And I don't mean to sound like any sort of expert because I am so not. I am just starting to learn how to work with these tools. I don't do it often. And that's why when I find a curb shop piece that actually gives me the opportunity to try something new or to work with these tools, I get excited about it because I hope in time I get better and better with this. Now, unfortunately, the laser on my Ryobi chop saw is broken. So I really had to take my time to line everything up. And just as a tip, when you're lining up your pencil mark, make sure the blade is to the right of the pencil mark. Because if you cut right on the pencil mark or to the left of it, your board is going to come up a little short. After I had all the boards cut to size, I started placing them on the table to figure out what type of configuration I wanted. To unify the color of all these boards, I mixed a paint wash and I used 50% water to 50% umber. If any of you joined me on last week's video, which I'll include in the cards above, this is the exact same paint color I used for that curb shop console table. To paint these boards with the paint wash, super easy. I just took an oval brush and started applying it. It didn't really matter. I don't have to be precious about this because we're after a very rustic outdoor garden table, so I didn't even want perfect coverage. In fact, leaving some areas that just had the natural wood exposed or just a little bit of the paint wash applied gave it a really nice look. I also made sure to apply the wash to the sides of the boards and the end of the boards. And here's a little tip when applying a paint wash. I like having a continuous water mister on hand because if the wash goes on a little thick in areas, I just spray it with the water mister and then rub the paint in, and it thins everything out really, really nicely. So if you find that your paint wash is applying a little heavy in some areas, rather than changing the consistency of the paint wash, if you have a spray mister on hand, this is very helpful and it's easy to control. Once all the boards had the paint wash on them, and they looked great, by the way, I was really pleased with the way that turned out, I went and got an inexpensive chip brush, and using umber in full strength, I applied some umber paint onto the black metal base. This created some faux texture. It just didn't look black flat. Not that the umber paint was super noticeable. So it just unified everything and gave it a little bit of faux texture. Once everything had dried 100%, it was time to top coat. And I wanted a durable outdoor top coat. So to protect this wood from the outdoor elements, I decided on gator hide. And gator hide is a water-based poly that is super durable. It's not just water resistant, it's water repellent. So the water just beads up on top of it. And here's an example on top of a stained buffet that I did. Gator hide makes for a perfect top coat for high traffic furniture like dining tables, kitchen tables. I actually used it on my kitchen table and clean it numerous times a day. It's still holding up remarkably well. And of course, it's good for outdoor furniture. The raw wood for these scrap wood boards just drank up the first layer of top coat. So I wasn't shy about putting on that first coat. Second and third coats can be applied in much lighter layers. And 2 to 3 layers, probably 3 layers for outdoor furniture, I would suggest. The last step was securing the boards to the table frame, and this metal table frame already had the holes where the glass bumpers had been. So I used these existing holes to screw the wood in place from the underside. It was super convenient. I brought the piece upstairs, staged and styled, and just as a reminder, here's the before. And here's the after. And I think it is a cute, rustic garden table that will be wonderful to hold some seedlings, some plants, and some garden tools. This was a fun way to upcycle a piece of trash, curbside trash, and some scrap wood. So I hope you enjoyed today's curb shopped scrap wood makeover. I have to say, I love working on these curb shop pieces because it gives me such a great chance to practice on things that I'd like to learn with no guilt if it does not turn out. If you've gained any value from this video, please feel free to like and subscribe here on YouTube. Also, feel free to share this video with anybody you think might benefit from it as well. You can also find me over at salvagedinspirations.com, where I have over 600 furniture painting and DIY decor tutorials teaching you how to make your furniture beautiful. You can also sign up for our free email list. It's free to do, and you get everything current sent right into your inbox. Until next project, have a fabulous week. Bye, guys.